Let me just tell you, we just watched the Mortal Kombat movie with some of the Gavin and Game members. Let me just say this up front. If you watched it and if you liked this movie, you are a damn genius because it was awesome. I love this movie. This is out of all the Mortal Kombats I've seen, one, Annihilation, and now this one. I loved this movie. It was so fun. Something is in the water right now over at Warner Brothers Pictures where they've got executives allowing filmmakers to really geek out with a lot of money. You know, this was a fan service movie. Now, so was King Kong Godzilla. Now, I don't know. I know Zilla's done great. Zilla, that's what us hip people call it. I don't know how this movie's going to do. But it's so, if you're a fan, and I am, of the franchise, I have been since the first one, it is so fan servicey, it is so entertaining, it is so fun, it is so gory, it gives you pretty much what you want and then still does it with surprises. I fucking loved this movie. Jax, who was Jimmy Olsen in Supergirl, took me a minute to recognize him. Awesome. Kano, even though I did not like him when I first saw him in the trailer because he was all kind of, he didn't match the build, he was fucking awesome. He was great. Sonya was fucking great. The guy they had as Cole, is pretty cool, you know, the new character. I didn't care for Raiden. He was fine, but Sub-Zero and Scorpion, fucking awesome. It was just, if you just want to know what I think, I loved it. I'll probably watch it 3 more times before it leaves HBO Max. It was really enjoyable. And the violence was just so creative and fun. The way, and you know what was great too about it was they kept, it was just like this great surprise of you never knew which Mortal Kombat character was going to show up. So again, it's very fan servicey. I can't imagine if you've never seen Mortal Kombat, you're not going to give a shit that suddenly, oh shit, it's Kung Lao, you know, or oh, there's Goro, or there's Cabal, or whatever. But if you love the games like I do, just seeing them pop up is like, oh my God, that's so fucking cool. And then the fact that the way Kung Lao does his fatality in the movie, oh, delightful. Jax gets a fatality. I mean, it's gory as fucking places, which is just delightful. I loved it. Here's what's interesting to me about this motion picture. I'm very curious how it's going to do because there's this sort of analogous thing happening with video game movies that we saw happening with comic book movies, right? So for the longest time, Superman didn't suffer from this, but there was like Blade did it. The first X-Men from Bryan Singer did it. There was a fear that if you kind of went all in and embraced the way they look in the comics and the costumes and the tone, that mainstream audience would say that's cheesy, that's stupid. And I hated that as a comic book fan when X-Men didn't feel like the X-Men, when they wouldn't wear the outfits, or when Blade was like, you doesn't even have to be Blade, right? It didn't feel like a comic book character. It just felt like a cool Matrix kind of riff with vampires, right? Video game stuff for a while seems like they've been feeling a little ashamed of the source material. Like they don't quite go full geek. Obviously, there's the crap ones like Double Dragon, but Prince of Persia didn't really feel like Prince of Persia to me. Tomb Raider is set in reality, but it's still kind of, it almost feels like they'll give a couple of little winks to the audience. Like, you remember that in the game? That's this, right? Okay, let's get on to a real movie. Whereas Mortal Kombat's like, fuck you, we love the game. And we're making a love letter to the fans of the game and to the game. Well, I hope we're going to see more of that, right? And I hope, I was very glad to see PlayStation Productions with Tom Holland's Nathan Drake costume, because at least the costume is dead on, right? I know, and I'm not at liberty to speak about the Twisted Metal TV series. I can tell you I still remain just as excited about it, primarily because the people making it, the Deadpool guys, the Zombieland guys, they are a very talented group of people. I have a lot of faith in them. And they've pitched me what it's about and all that. But what I will say is, some stuff has leaked about what that series might be about. I have not and will not comment on the leaks, but all I will say is, as it relates to Mortal Kombat, is I really hope this movie is successful. And I really hope, because it's still so early in development of the Twisted Metal TV show, and these things may never get made. This is like probably the third time someone's tried to sort of mount a live action Twisted Metal, except of course when I did it, those always got made. They were horrible, but they got made. That was all Sony saying, "Here, Jeffy, spend the money, you fucking weirdo." But anyway, the point is, I hope if this is a successful movie, they will look at it and go, and let's just say that my theory as to why, and this may not be true, I'm totally just guessing here. PlayStation Productions is brand new. The guys who run it, they have experience, but they're not, it's not, I don't believe, at least the people I read who are running it, they're not like coming from a film background. And so maybe they're being told, we can't go one for one with your properties. We have to sort of bloom them out so they have a wider reach. Maybe that's true. I'm sure that's true to an extent. But what's really great about Mortal Kombat is they're just like going, well, no, this is what the property is. If you want to make a Mortal Kombat movie, make a Mortal Kombat movie. If you want to make a Twisted Metal TV show, make it about Twist Goddamn Metal. Now, again, I'm not speaking to the leaks. I'm not speaking to what it's about. I love the guys who are making it. I think they're brilliant, really funny people. But what I will say, though, is if this is successful, hopefully they take notes and go, maybe that valve that we play with about how much of the source material we can flood into the actual adaptation, maybe we can open that valve more, because it turns out that even if you didn't play Mortal Kombat, all the characters, when you own the property this way, the fans show up and it appeals to more people than just the fans. But it may not. It may crash and burn. And then that theory is totally valid. And again, I'm not saying they're not making a true to form Twisted Metal. I'm just saying that for me, the more a valve gets opened up and it is Twisted Metal, I would rather see a great talented group of writers and directors bring their talents to the properties as we know them, whether it's Twisted Metal or anything in video games, and not use their talents to try to make it more commercial for non-fans. I'd rather just say, this is the source. How do we make a great story with the source versus we need to change the source enough so we can make a great story, if that makes any sense. Otherwise, why even have the fucking brand? But again, I'm not giving anything away about what I know about Twisted. Again, it's the people involved. The pitch they gave me sounds really cool. I'm not ragging on it. I'm just saying, after seeing this, I hope we get even more Twisted Metal stuff than what they were planning, assuming this is a hit. If it's a failure, they're like, no, close the fucking valve. Have an ice cream shop in the background called Sweet Tooth. That's it. I don't fucking know. But listen, this was great. I loved it. Edward Boone and you knuckleheads over at NetherRealm. I think you guys have just been involved in the best video game movie ever made. And I'm not saying it's fucking, terms of endearment. It's not like the best movie ever made, but it is so entertaining. It is so fun. It is so embracing the heart of the brand. I hope it does so well for you guys and for everyone else. And I can't wait for the sequel. Spoiler. Here's a quick spoiler at the end. It's a little weird that Scorpion shows up at the end, just like, I decided to come up from hell and fight you. I'm like, you couldn't have done that over the last 300 years? That was a little weird. It's a little convenient that suddenly just Scorpion shows up. I was hoping that would be a little bit more marbled into the plot, but there you go. Loved it. 8 out of 10. I'll watch it 3 or 4 or 5 more times before it goes. I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoy the Mortal Kombat as much as I did. And I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye. I can't stop the recording. Now I can. Have a great weekend. Bye.